A collaboration between the Burpee Museum in Rockford and Native American people from the Sac and Fox, Potawatomi, and Ojibwa nations helped the community learn about the culture, language, and history of Native American people. Big changes could be coming to South Beloit City Hall as City Council approves making an offer for a new City Hall location. The proposed building is currently owned by an electric motor company, and switching buildings would allow plenty of room for both City Hall and Police Department staff, with the potential of housing the Street Department and a new public library. South Beloit Mayor Tom Fitzgerald says it's a waiting game now to see if the company accepts their offer. There is no timetable on when the offer or if it will be accepted, but if the company does accept the city's offer, it would be years in the making until the city officially moves into a new home. Former Roscoe Police Chief Jamie Evans passed away Friday evening following her second battle with cancer. This is according to a social media post from the Roscoe Police Department. Evans served as the village's police chief from 2008 to 2022. Israel's prime minister announced Monday the country will expand its ground offensive in Gaza in the coming days, despite growing international pressure to stop the fighting. The comments come the same day Egypt made a proposal to end the war. Beloit police look for answers in connection to a shooting Monday morning that sends one person to the hospital. Police say the shooting happened just after 10:45 a.m. near the intersections of Porter and Yates Avenues in Beloit. Thanks for staying with us. Here's what's trending. A 6-year-old boy relives a Home Alone moment as he was sent to the wrong destination on his flight. Maria Ramos says her grandson Casper was traveling alone for the first time from Philadelphia aboard Spirit Airlines. The grandma became anxious, thinking the worst after Casper's luggage arrived in Fort Myers, but the boy never got out of the plane. The 6-year-old called Ramos from Orlando, where he'd landed, wondering where she was.
Ramos says she immediately drove 4 hours to Orlando to retrieve Casper, who was still wearing his airline ticket. Spirit Airlines offered to reimburse the family for the drive. That is so sweet and so scary at the same time.
Yeah, that is definitely a scary moment.
I'm really glad that they got to, have that connection.
Yeah,
again.
like meet again, yes.
Yeah. But let's just talk about how cool October is. So many sports. I know I'm excited about the Ice Hogs returning, and I know you are as well.
I am, yeah. I'm a big hockey fan myself, but as you said, October, a really neat month. We've got the MLB postseason with the NLCS and ALCS. We got football, hockey, we got everything.
We got it all.
You do want to dress warm because those wind chills in the 20s does not look that fun.
I can't believe that. The last time it was snowing, I think I mentioned it to you guys in the newsroom. I was in college and I walked out of my dorm room on Halloween and I'm like, how long was I asleep?
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, only in Illinois. Like, it's really weird. And then we're going to have a green Christmas.
I don't know about you, Anthony. I'm so excited for next week to start. These matchups are going to be awesome.
It is insane that we're already at that time. But yeah, the playoffs, always an exciting time. See who's going to be going far. And maybe we'll have a state champion or more, but we'll have to see.
All that heat is going to come with some rain as well.
It's insane how much colder and colder we are getting, even just coming out to the car after work and just seeing some of the frost being on the windshield. And as you said, it was brutal trying to shoot those football games.
Hey, I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Illinois.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a little while for the Ice Hogs to get back into town. Their next home game isn't until December 8th. So unless you have a passport to go to Manitoba next weekend, it's going to be a little while.
And as you said, once they do return home, it'll definitely be worth seeing them given the young talent that they have.
Yeah, currently second place in the Central Division standings as well. Really sharp-looking team so far.
At least it's not going to be a long spread cold.
Yeah, but it's crazy to think just on Halloween when the children are trick-or-treating, it's cool to see their costumes, but they're going to have to be bundled up.
And maybe dressed as a lion.
I know, maybe. A death investigation is underway at Cherryville Mall in Rockford after police found the body of an older man inside a vehicle in the mall's parking lot earlier this morning. This is according to a release from Police Chief Todd Stockberger. There is no threat to the public, and police have not yet released the man's name. It's unknown how long this vehicle was in the parking lot, and a cause of death has not been determined as of Saturday evening. It took the Rockford Fire Department more than 8 hours to extinguish a fire at a vacated building in Rockford Friday evening. They responded just before 6:45 p.m. to the 2500 block of 11th Street, where they found fire coming from the roof of a 5-story vacant warehouse. The department says they contained the fire to the building that it started at. No injuries to civilians nor first responders were reported. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Rockford ranks in the top 1% for human trafficking in Illinois. That's why the community marches to raise awareness on the ongoing problem of human trafficking in the Rockford region. This is part of the March for Freedom, where dozens of people walked throughout Rockford on Saturday holding signs explaining why they are participating in the event. The founder of the March for Freedom partners with Rockford Alliance Against Sexual Exploitation, better known as RAASE, to connect the community on what human trafficking looks like locally and around the world. People spent Saturday morning walking in a single file line, holding signs and handing out flyers in a stretch of a little less than 2 miles. Just days after an Oregon resident, Sarah Wright, found out a selfless donation will soon change her life, the community comes together at the Ogle County Brewery in Oregon to help give her one final gift for the holidays. Brad Parkinson recently donated a van and camper to Sarah to help get her and her pet off their feet. He also organized Saturday's Men's on Motorcycles event. Proceeds will help Sarah find a permanent place to live. She was living out of storage units and tents at Loudon State Park in Oregon. Motorcyclists started at the brewery and then had a police escort to the park. The community comes together in Roscoe for Jack's Joyride to honor the life of Jack Bauman, whose life was taken away from him at 4 years old. The event started at Merkai Salon and Studio in Roscoe. From there, participants could visit local businesses, also known as Jack Stops, to collect stamps they can turn in for raffle tickets. Proceeds benefit the Jack Bauman Memorial, which funds pre-K scholarships in our local community. Organizers say there was a much larger turnout than expected and hope Saturday's event builds a sense of community. Some on-air talent from 23 News took to the court Saturday morning for the media exhibition wheelchair basketball game at the UW Health Sports Factory. This is one of the therapeutic recreational programs the Rockford Park District offers for people with all types of disabilities. Andy Gannon, Jake Pearson, Sydney Stoffregan, DJ Baker, and I, along with people from Rockford University, played against athletes from the Rockford Junior Chariots wheelchair basketball team. Organizers hope these clinics raise awareness for the sport of wheelchair basketball. One Harlem High School student carries on his family legacy of telling stories about the local veterans and their family. Ian Elliott is a senior at Harlem High School and is one of several students to participate in the Harlem Vets Project. Students tell the stories of hometown heroes through a short documentary. Ian's older brother interviewed their grandpa for his project, and Ian shared the story of his grandpa's brother. The students who are a part of this project shared their work with the community on Saturday. 16 local veterans receive a once-in-a-lifetime award to thank them for their service to our country, and the awards are made by roughly a dozen local volunteers. This is part of Saturday's Quilts of Valor ceremony. Quilts of Valor is a national organization that wraps service members with love and support of a quilt made by nationwide volunteers. The organization's Belvedere Group presented these veterans with their awards. Volunteers come in once a month to make these quilts made from fabric and materials donated by the community. The quilt is awarded to a service member or veteran who has been touched by the war. The quilt says, "Thank you for your service and sacrifice in serving our nation." Rockford's first Indian Muslim filmmaker and 6-time nationally nominated short filmmaker hosts a red carpet premiere Saturday of his new visual album, Prelude to Life. Yash Musabji celebrates 5 years of his visual album project at Rockford's Nordloff Center. Prelude to Life is a music video and movie combined that takes place in Rockford, Wisconsin, and Las Vegas. Musabji says his narrative is about a boy who finds out who he is in life. He says to always chase after your dreams because anything is possible. And if you can believe it, Cherryvale Mall opened half a century ago in Rockford, and dozens of people packed the mall to celebrate this milestone on Saturday. In addition to prize drawings, Mrs. Fields made a 7-foot cookie to celebrate this occasion. People were also encouraged to bring donations for the Rockford Rescue Mission to help those who may be homeless. Malls nationwide struggled during COVID, but those like Cherryvale revitalized. They brought in more diverse stores and local businesses to give mall goers the best experience they can. Performers call it Byron's premier production on a holiday favorite as the Byron Civic Theater and Byron Dance Academy present The Nutcracker. Featuring local performers from roughly 8 area dance studios, this was the company's first time tackling a ballet. Saturday marked the 4th and final performance, and the last 2 shows nearly sold out. The co-directors of the show say they wanted to perform this close to the holidays because some students are home from school and can enjoy the show with their families.